a mom. She's an actress. She's just incredible.
Oh, she really is. I feel like she's just one of those people that's such like a bright light. You know, she's just so chill, just like go with the flow. When you chat with her, you kind of feel like she's your best friend, even though you're like, in a way, girl crushing over her because you love watching her. In your favorite movies, like, I mean, for me, I was like Swim Band a little while ago, but I remember like loving that movie. And then you're like, wow, okay, we are having this incredible lady at our event. What?
So, it was kind of surreal, right?
It was. So we're just like so grateful.
Yay.
Hi, welcome.
Wow, thank you so much. What a day.
Woo!
How you feeling?
We're doing great. We're we're keeping our energy up here. We're having fun. We're dancing. We're learning really great tips. We're just having a good time.
Keeping the momentum going.
Yes.
But we're going to give you the stage, so we can't wait to hear from you, and thank you so much for being here with us again.
Such a pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm sure some of the people that are here were also here at the event in October, and possibly even some of you joined us on our Instagram Live the other day. So I'm going to recap and expound upon the same topics that we talked about before. I have three main categories of, tips. And then I also want to look at all of them from the viewpoint of confidence, building our confidence, keeping our confidence, how to do that, how to maintain it, how to grow it, and keep it personal, because I think it's the foundation for anything and everything that you do. I think it's what makes you a good team player. I think it's what makes you a good person in a relationship, romantically speaking. And I think that it just makes you enjoy everything, enjoy your life if you don't feel so threatened, if you know that you deserve to be here. Aside from the basic truth of that, there are ways to make yourself feel that and act that way more. Now I kind of wish you guys were doing like interview style, but that's okay. I'll jump in. So the first thing is think big, act small. And think big means two things. It means know where you're going, If it's not natural to you and you have to think about it, then set some goals for yourself within the framework of the life that you already have or outside of it. And it doesn't have to be also like, I want to, own my own business, or I want to own that fancy new car, or I want to whatever. It doesn't have to be that specific at first. At first, it has to be, why am I here? What am I doing here? And hopefully you find something that's very clear and simple that can help just drive you every day. If it's, I want to help people through something, or I want to make people happy, or I want to just contribute something, and that leads you to the framework of your line of work, your art form, whatever it is, and it can help drive you through there, and you can set your goals with that in mind. And then the second part of thinking big is think really big, even just as an exercise. If it doesn't matter to you, well, I don't care if I'm the most successful, fill in the blank. Still, okay, well, think about that, because that can help you just make sure that you're leading things in the right direction. It's this classic shoot for the moon, and if you miss, at least you land amongst the stars. That concept of taking a long view and having it go as far as you can, and then don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Back it up to acting small. And that means all of the baby steps count. Every phone call, every book you read, everything that you do to educate yourself and to communicate with others and get your message out there, whatever that is, all of those things count. And if you ever just get stuck on like, I don't know what the next step is, here I am. I've come this far. Great. I'm going that direction. Great. You back it up by looking again at your goal and then going, okay, I want to climb this mountain. I literally want to climb Mount Everest. Okay, so what do I need to do in order to do that? Well, I need to have all of the gear and I need to have the skills. Okay, so I've been training this way. I need to train this way. Okay, well, I don't know how to train that. Back it up to, okay, I need to find a teacher. Great. Google, man, and you're off again. All the way, everything that seems overwhelming, you have to bring it back down to what is a step that I can do right now? And that can get you out of your rut and back on the move. All right, so think big, act small, and then take care of yourself. Man, we all agree on this. It's a big thing these days. Self-care is like the fad, which is awesome, and it can mean many different things to many people. And if it makes you feel good physically and mentally to do your face mask, whatever, that's all wonderful. But I like to think about the basics, the very basics of eating nutritious food, getting some exercise, as much or as little as you can fit into your day and your life, and as much suits your interest and your goals. But any exercise is better than no exercise. It just gets you moving, and I can feel the difference on the days that I don't exercise. I regret it, halfway through the day, and I feel that slump, and I'm like, man, I should have worked out this morning. I try to get on a bike ride or a stationary bike ride, which is my move these days. Or 10 minutes of doing crunches and stuff on the floor, doing squats, holding the baby, these things, the things that you see people do on Instagram and you're like, yeah, right. I think Instagram is a great tool for inspiration as long as you take it their life actually has nothing to do with mine, and what you see on Instagram may have nothing to do with theirs. We all have to work on making sure that our social media consumption is actually nourishing and not breaking down your self-confidence. But I find that if I follow people that prepare nutritious foods and I follow people that are really into exercise and stuff like that, then I'll get inspired and I'll see somebody do some cool exercise and I'm like, sure, let's do it. Let's give it a shot. So I think that can actually be very useful. Eating, exercising, sleeping, major, huge, big deal. Parents, sleep train your children. I personally recommend it. There's a book called 12 Hours Sleep by 12 Weeks Old, life changer. And there are also experts on Instagram about that. And then your mental well-being. We all know that we have to surround ourselves with positive people. But even more than that, we have to make sure that there are not negative people in our lives. And sometimes that can actually be hard to sort out because you can like people and still have them be weighing you down or holding you back. And I think the easiest way to tell if someone is a positive influence in your life or not is how you feel after you talk to them. Because even if somebody is well-intentioned, but the way that they communicate doesn't work for you, unless it's someone that you need to be in contact with for work or whatever, but you can limit your contact, or you can make sure that you are communicating as efficiently as possible. So you keep it straight to business and you recognize that you are responsible for the way that you feel, and you communicate with people, friends, family, whomever, that make you feel better than before you talk to them. That's that's something that I have to remind myself about, because, you know, it can be fun to get in arguments with strangers on the internet, right? But that's not necessarily productive unless you really think like, all right, we are challenging our ideas and we can maybe grow and learn things from each other. But you have to do that if that's what you're doing. And then do what you are doing when you are doing it. This is also just a life changer for me, because I think a lot of these things I've learned in the last several years as a parent, because I used to be more of a multitasker, and I don't recommend it for me. Here's my idea about it, and see what you think. Multitasking is, you know, spinning all these plates, and none of them really get your full attention. Of course, that's impossible. So if you need to be always spinning this one plate over here, you can practice so that it takes less of your attention overall. But basically, if we want to be simple about categorizing like a work thing, or, you know, I'm sending emails, or I'm consuming something, I'm reading, learning about something, or I'm on the phone, or I'm talking to my loved one or my children, or whatever it is, those things will each be benefited by having your full attention. And then overall, they should take less time if they have your full attention. And that's why I even find, you know, 20 minutes or less of exercise, 10-minute blocks with my kids where they have my full attention, and they know, oh, okay, I'm like, what are we doing? We're drawing. Let's build a Lego fortress or whatever, you know, and whatever we do it. And then great. Now I'm onto this thing. You do that, or you eat this sandwich, or whatever it is, and move on and cycle through all of your activities that deserve attention. Not to say that you can't multitask, but I'm sure there are awesome ways that it could work out. You know, it makes me think of like people that have treadmills for walking at their computer. Like, that's amazing. I would definitely consider that, but that's not the way it works for me right now. And then I'm gonna power through here, because I feel like I'm again running out of time. I could talk all day on these topics. Now back to the overall topic of confidence. Now, there are so many facets to our confidence and the way we relate as an individual with a certain appearance and a certain job or a certain, you know, identity. And take something like the earlier segment on walking in heels. That's amazing, because that may actually change your life. If you're a tall lady and you've decided you just want to wear flats, amazing. Do you? I wear flats all the time unless I'm working. But, you know, if say you're in a professional setting and you've decided you're going to wear heels and you don't really know how to walk in heels, that could really be a life changer. It's finding the building blocks of these pieces, because if you can do your job, whatever that is, even as a parent, if you can do your job, if you've defined what your job is and what you are supposed to accomplish, then that is a foundation which cannot be shaken. That, and like I was talking about in our Instagram Live, knowing that you have the capability to learn is it. That's it. No one can take that from you. Somebody could try to make you feel stupid and could even succeed at it, but that's them doing that. They're not actually changing your ability that all of us have, that we can learn things. We can always grow. And so there are times in my life where I have recognized my ignorance, and sometimes it's a problem and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just like, whoa, look at that. Like, I know absolutely nothing about wine, you know, so fine. Look at that whole universe of information over there and I know nothing about it. cool. If I wanted to, I could dive in and I could completely learn everything about that subject, or I could learn a little bit, just enough so that I can have this conversation that I'm going to have somewhere. But if you're having trouble learning, of course, you can get tutoring. Really, the absolute simplest things to do if you're having trouble learning are back off and make sure that your text or whatever the source of information is that you're learning, or even if, say it's something physical, like you're attempting to learn how to ride a bike or do a cartwheel or whatever, back it off so that you get the beginner stuff. Always start at the beginning and make sure that you are building a foundation as you go. Because if you're building brick by brick, then you don't fall all the way back down when you try to jump too high, That's true with literally anything. If you start at the beginning and you have a trustworthy source of information, a good textbook, a good teacher, whatever it is, a good environment with a mentor that's showing you the ropes, and then you take it step by step. Once you've got something, you can move on to the next higher step. And the other sneaky thing is someone can make you feel completely stupid if they're using words that you don't understand, or if they're using them with definitions specific to a technical field that you're learning. And it literally messes up everything. So I'm like dictionary.com all the time. And now I'm like proud of myself. I've got a pretty good vocabulary. So at least, speaking to people, I understand the English language fairly well. There are definitely words that I encounter and I'm like, wow, how in my 38 years have I never understood what this word means? And there are so many words that we're familiar with now with the rate of information that we consume with social media and everything else. There are words or phrases that we are familiar with that we don't actually know what they mean. And those are sneaky and they will mess you up. And definitely if you are falling down on learning something, then that is a place that you can look. Hi, you're going to kick me out again.
But this is such great. This is amazing. Continue.
Okay, wonderful. Well, these are, to me, the foundation of confidence is knowing what you know already. That's unshakable. And then being willing to learn. So even if you have an idea that you completely know it 100%, and then you get new information and you have to change your mind, totally fine. That doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change, it doesn't negate your history of operating with a certain mindset. You learn something new, that's amazing and that's great. And the stumbling blocks in learning can definitely be trying to jump too far instead of getting the beginning first and trying to just kind of work through the context of meanings of words and stuff like that instead of knowing what they mean and building on that foundation as well. Then you're good to go and you really can learn anything. And just knowing that it's like a secret that you can learn anything, like how can you not have self-confidence when you really know that is true? So I hope that's true.
Very good. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being with us again. We love having you on. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I could walk on the treadmill and type on my computer at the same time. So
yeah, maybe like watching a movie.
Yeah, maybe, right?
Yeah.
So definitely be present and make sure you're looking up those words that you don't understand so that you can get really clear on them and you can be confident and knowledge is power, right? So let's learn. Thank you so much for being with us again, Erika. Have a great day. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Let's have a great rest of the brunch.
Let's do it.
Okay.